I'm sure you all know, is about one of our favorite web series about a quirky little group of online gamers. Please welcome the people who bring you Fork and Zabu, Jeff Lewis, and Sandeep Parikh.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
How are you enjoying the con this year?
I love it very much.
Yeah, this is. We said this at the. We said this during one of our improv shows, but it holds true. You guys are the best smelling convention. Arizona's really warm. I thought, that was gonna.
I feel like what helps is
smelling, but it's not.
the misting that happens out of the building.
The hotel misting probably does help. But maybe it's just, the fact that you guys probably buy deodorant. That's gotta be nice. So yeah, it's been great. I feel like there's a lot of distortion in the mic.
It's probably my fault. Hello, is this better?
Better?
Is this better?
Yeah.
Is this better?
Great. Well, we're starting off your DVD. Maybe you can give us a little bit of background on how you two were involved with the guild.
Okay. In 1972, was it small? No, we, Sandeep and Felicia and I, for many years were in an improv group at this theater called Empty Stage. We were in a group called Being Humans, typical funny named improv group. And we had just done it Friday night for many years, and she called each of us up and sort of knew what we did and asked us if we would come to the reading of the pilot. And the other three, they auditioned.
Yeah. We had to clean Felicia's toilets. To get the jobs. At least I did. Did you have to?
I had to build a house from scratch. That's weird.
That's weird. We weren't even getting paid, but we still.
What was that?
We weren't even getting paid.
No, I think I gave her a disease.
I don't want to know which one. Next question.
All right, well, we know that Felicia is really like the top boss. She writes and produces it, but it's also said that the Guild's very much a collaborative effort. How much of your characters is really improvised on the spot, and how much is actually written down?
I'd say but we get to play, and it's kind of a constantly evolving thing. When we're shooting, there's just a million things that happen between when she writes it and when we're actually about to roll camera. The location's a little bit different, or you couldn't get an actor for a day, or there's a million things that could happen. So we end up, powwowing literally seconds before rolling, and coming up with new lines, or we did an improv in scene 20, and now we're shooting scene 21 4 days later. So we want to call back that improv from So there's just a lot of on the fly sort of adjustments that we're all a part of. I'm trying to take more credit than you, but it's true. Yeah, I know. But basically, without us, she'd be totally screwed.
I know sometimes that she'll send the script to us to look at it, and it'll say, so just say Fork, and it'll say insert joke. So the ones have to ask to figure out what to say there.
But the hard part is coming up with the story and sort of weaving together all the characters and whatever individual stories that they're going through for the season and tying them all together. I mean, I feel like each season does that sort of beautifully, where at the end of the season it's like, we took the A plot, B plot, C plot, and she really weaves them all together. So she's really, spending all the time beforehand, sort of orchestrating that, and then it's just up to us to sort of help fill in jokes whenever the hell we can.
Yeah, but we always do the lines written first. And actually, one time she got mad. I think it was this season where we did the olives first and forgot to do her lines.
Oh yeah, she did get mad at me because I didn't give her her
We forgot
line.
what was written. She was not happy. Screw her. Just my boss.
All right, well, I think the DVD's ready. You want to set up what we're going to do?
Yeah.
I don't even know if we remember, but we just want to show an outtake reel because we always show episodes, and that's kind of, we've all seen the episodes. So we're going to show the gag reel.
Oh my God.
There's 3 gag reels.
There's so many. Isn't there one just long?
I don't remember which one. I don't know, man.
Just bullshit.
Just play it out. See what happens.
You better, sir. Gag reels are not funny without audio.
There's no audio.
That's hilarious. What I was saying was,
All right, well, while we're waiting,
Yes,
for
that's
another
all.
question. How's life outside of the What projects are you guys working on right now that we should be watching out for?
I direct and created a show called The Legend of Neil. Cheer for that. Thank you. Yeah, so that's been my main project for a while, and that sort of led to a deal with Comedy Central, where I'm now running a television show for them that is currently untitled and still being built. So hopefully next year there will be a show on Comedy Central if all things go well.
I just finished up this season. I just did a. What am I trying to say? I had this Jeff Lewis 5-minute comedy hour.
Yeah.
And I made a deal with the entire continent of Europe. I just made a deal with Europe. No, I got nothing. That's what I finished. We're just trying to raise money for that and just.
That's directed by Sean Becker, who also directs The Guild.
Yes, I guess I should have mentioned that. Yes.
Yeah. It's really funny. If you haven't seen it, you should go to, what is it, youtube.com/
5-minute comedy hour. 5-minute hour.
5-minute hour.
If you type in Jeff.
The number 5.
Yes. Just type in Jeff. Jeff, and I'm sure you'll know what you want.
Oh, are you guys ready? Let's try it again.
We can talk some more.
No. God, I look really attractive there.
I was going to tell you.
This is, well, I'll just talk about this frame. What's funny about whenever Felicia and I are sitting together is that she is, translucently pale. I'm just like this really gorgeous nutmeg brown. So, it's always like a challenge for our lighting guys, our lighting department, to like make it such that she's not completely blown out and she just looks like a white dwarf imploding or whatever.
Actually, Felicia died 8 years ago. Just trying to keep her alive.
Trying to keep her alive, whatever. No.
Anyway.
It looks like it's going to be so funny.
We're not good enough to get in the actual show. That's the line.
That's the line, yeah.
What else can, I don't know, let's see. Okay guys, we're going to the emergency backup. Let me explain to you what's going to happen in the next few seconds.
We're going to get a giant hamster wheel out.
We're going to get a hamster and then
Run the
whatever,
guys. Okay, let's, what else? You got anything else for us?
Yeah, sure. Have you guys always been a little nerdy, or did you really truly discover your nerd potential later in life? And if so, what was the first nerdy thing that you really fell in love with?
I've always been really nerdy.
Yeah, same here.
I'm trying to think what television, I started off playing D&D and I watch a lot of Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Yeah!
$6 Million Man.
You're old.
78 years old.
Very good for 78.
I'm very good. I won't make it out of this panel.
I was that kid that wore a Superman cape until I was like 10 years old. It would not take it off of me. I was in love with Christopher Reeves and all the Supermans. And Zelda was like my first video game love. I used to play a lot of Hero Quest growing up. sure, yeah, I'm a nerd. That's all there was to do besides get made fun of.
All right.
Take 7.
Well, here's something.
Are you playing it off your iPhone speaker? I don't know where she is. There's a lot of eating. Oh, grapes, reading grapes. I have no idea why. It's your DMP photo. Photoshopped. Is that as loud as it goes? Really? Could you imagine all the reads side by side? It's gonna be amazing. What a blue pillage. Gives me the shivers. I feel like chicken. Yes, Vince does have those actual card skills, and he shows them off every chance he can. They're pretty bad.
Nursing makes me stupid.
I'm not plugged in, I promise.
So when? Next weekend, next year, next.
Yeah, no, I had these tacos. Just rolling through. I gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, yeah, I've been on the bus for 39 hours. I gotta go. Number 2. Jesus. So attractive. Okay, I'll just. I'll go love it. Okay, the picture. These are really funny if you can hear them, I mean, I promise. I believe I said, do you want to take a ride on my magic carpet?
No more
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna take questions over here. If you want to go ahead and line up.
Any questions? I wish we had a question for the moderator. Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
We asked the questions.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
don't have answers.
Sorry.
But while they're lining up,
So lining up.
we can look forward right to a music video here at Comicon or some sort of something.
So I think what ended up happening this year is that we filmed, usually we film a little bit earlier, and so we were able to get like the episodes done and get a music video in. I don't know that we're gonna get a music video in time for San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, there's gonna be extra videos, I'm sure.
There might be a
someday.
premiere of
But I think we might premiere the episodes
of
themselves.
season 5. I don't know.
It's all speculation, really, at this point.
We like to speculate. You don't mind, right?
All right, first question.
Are any of these microphones on? I feel like mine's on?
Yeah.
Thank you. You're good.
In bed.
Yeah.
I said it first. Yeah, that's right, he's not a Portuguese.
This is the one who's controlled by the switchboard, I believe. I'll just yell.
There you go.
Okay.
So, I was wondering if you guys actually play any RPGs or MMOs, and like what ones you're currently or have recently been playing.
Since I have a baby now, I have about 7 minutes of Black Ops to play. That's all I need. And an 8-year-old kills me for 40 times, and then I turn it off. I played WoW up until, I had to stop up until a little while ago just because it's a little time consuming. My wife will not let me. I played WoW for a long time, and yeah. Every question?
And didn't you have a wedding, or some sort of ceremony in game?
We didn't.
We talked about it.
We talked about it a lot. My wife did play for one day, and then we got into a huge fight, and because we were playing at the same time, and she didn't know how to fight, and so I just asked her to leave. She just couldn't. I was like,
just leave.
I was trying to level her up, and she couldn't do it. So
I remember you asked me to be your in-game best man, but then I wasn't leveled up enough, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna retract it.
Because I found a place, this mountain, it was just beautiful mountaintop.
But I had you go like level 17.
Yeah.
So then now I'm just not your best man. Instead of you finding a new place.
Yes. I was going to find a level 1 place, I just can't have you, I'm sorry.
Right. I play a little bit of WoW, but that's, it's sort of just all life-consuming. I like to play games that I can beat. So, I don't know, I'm playing Bulletstorm right now, and it's a fun game, right? You shoot people, it's hilarious, and shooting them in the balls and stuff. Always fun. I get my Xbox, my PS3, and just, God of War, and Prince of Persia's. I love all those games. Yeah.
We tried out Duke Nukem.
Yeah, we played the new Duke Nukem Forever
And it was
with
really
the
fun.
guys, with the Gearbox guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a total blast.
Because we're special.
The game starts with you peeing. I think we can get that away.
And then you can take a poop out of the toilet.
You can take a poop out of the toilet and throw it. That's the beginning of the game. I think it's better and more clever from
It's all
our
over.
Great, next question.
Who would win in a match between you two?
Live?
Not a match.
In any game.
A one-hit match?
Who has less hair match? He's got a magic carpet too, right? But you go improv.
Who's taller match?
Who's not? I would lose that match.
You should, handily. You live in my pocket.
It's web controlled. It's very
What was the magic carpet? What'd you say? I have a lot of
I think you
hair.
have a lot of body hair.
As far as
Just
you know,
surprised me.
I have a lot of body
Making
hair.
a girl cry. I just
I think it's a baby. He's crying.
I think it was that adult woman right there. Probably a baby. That's... Next question.
How similar are your characters to your actual lives, like your person?
Not very.
I don't know. He's more like my dad than me. But, when we play, I was talking about this, when I did improv with Felicia for years, I never did a character like Borg. I don't know where she got that from. Because I'm this guy, when I do improv, I don't know if you saw it, Borg's very exacting in his language. And I'm very stuttering, and my words are always just...
Yeah, you're a terrible improviser.
But Borg's very exact. I mean, in fact, when I'm on the set, they say, if I ever say an or an they will stop me and say, do not say those words. I'm just very exacting. So, but as far as... But I don't know, I think I do contribute to a lot of that cheap part of it, because my dad, I grew up with my dad, he will reuse ice cubes.
How does that even...
After you're done with the drink, you take the ice that you haven't used and put it back into the tray. It's awful. It's
my parents are very cheap as well. So
Yeah, that's why I contribute to the show. It's crazy, but it doesn't sound real, but it really is.
Yeah. Well, but you are similar. I mean, on the flight over here, I made sandwiches for the two of us, unbeknownst to Jeff. Yeah, we're very adorable. And so Jeff, when we were at the airport, he's like, "Oh man, I'm so hungry. I have to get food." I was like, "Hey, I made sandwiches." He was so happy to get a free sandwich. You're so genuinely excited when you get free stuff.
Yeah, I am genuinely. Listen to me.
That's true.
But my dad does love the 99-cent store. I don't know if that's I mentioned that, but he is crazy about it.
Good story.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm telling you right now.
All right, next question.
Okay, sorry.
Does Zabu secretly wish that Codex would have a change of heart?
I don't think it's very secret. He's a pretty overt guy. You're gonna have to wait and see season 5. Though there's an interesting, there's just some stuff going on. I mean, if you've seen season 4, everybody's basically caught up. Not that I'm gonna spoil anything, but we sort of leave. There's our relationship is in kind of an interesting spot where she's starting to think about things, and then we just explore that. She really did a good job because there's a number of ways that she could have, I think, jumped the shark or made it kind of cheesy, and she didn't. I think she made it really funny, and you just have to wait and see. It's good.
To sum it up,
But I'm sure, of course, Zabu is a hornball.
I'm curious about your improv training. Have you gone through IO or Upright Citizens Brigade or Second City or Groundlings? Where's your background?
Yes. I've literally done all of them.
I've done none of those.
I've done Groundlings in Second City and a bunch of different places. We started with this guy Stan Wells at Empty Stage, where the three of us did improv together, which was a great place. Stan Wells was a great teacher, and he was a Groundlings initially, and he taught us a lot.
Yeah, improv is awesome. Everyone should take it. I mean, it really is I say this a lot, but it's like, even if you're not thinking about being an actor, it just helps in everything that you do. Job interviews, you're improvising all the time. Like, life is improv. So whether you want to pick up girls, pick up guys and girls, just conversation, it just helps so much, I think, in all facets of your life that, I kind of wish that and hope that people will do more improv training, just in general. I mean, I think it's really a value.
And it's very good. It's based on taking something and building on it, and that's a lot of what writing is about too.
Absolutely.
And it really is important to know there's bigger, and what is the next level that's going to take it from a foundation.
Yeah, a lot of sketches. I think if you're like a writer, it's there's a difference between something called first thought and third thought, which is like, oh, I have a sketch idea. It's the most obvious sketch idea. That's usually your first thought. You want to be able to dig to that second and third thought, and that's when things start getting interesting. And if you do a lot of improv training, you start learning how to get to that third thought quicker and faster. And it's just, I think it's helped us immensely, whenever we act, write, or whatever, to just be able to go to that new, unique place that isn't so obvious, but still sort of works in the confines of whatever comedy we're trying to do. So certainly if you're an actor, a writer, a director, or kind of wanting to get into that world, I say definitely, without a doubt, take improv. And even if you're not a lawyer, whatever, it just helps. What's funny is that we did 2 improv shows. Did anybody come to our improv shows here? Yeah. They were pretty good, right? Yeah. I just want that confirmation. But the joke is oh yeah, in an improv show, you never know what people are going to say, and you jump to a rape joke, which is never funny, guys. Trying to go there, but we didn't do that all weekend until just now. Jackass. Next question.
I just wanted to know what the most awkward moment you've ever had at a convention was.
I think it's happening, guys. No, actually, no, it's that. I wish that was the most awkward moment. Mine was when a guy guy just insisted upon. He's like, "Can I cradle you like a baby?" First of all, you probably don't need a qualifier. How else would you cradle me? But and second of all, absolutely not. That was at BlizzCon. This giant guy.
Yeah.
It was what? Are you cheering for that guy? Oh, for BlizzCon and for that. All right.
I signed a 10-week-old baby.
That's it,
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
I mean, it was fine.
It was the baby's onesie. It wasn't the actual. What else? There's been a lot of awkward.
There is, you know, I know
We're all
Felicia.
nerds, so we're all super awkward.
I had asked Felicia to get on the. She was going to be on the phone, and he wanted her to talk to his fiance, his girlfriend,
And ask her to
and
marry.
ask her to marry her.
And ask him to marry.
Ask him.
I'm over it. Oh, and someone asked for a lock of Felicia's hair. They seemed like wanted to pay $1,000 for a lock of her hair. She refused. It was just way too creepy. I mean, maybe he would have like cloned her or something.
Okay, next.
Well, as in like aspiring actor / writer of the same sort of like, I guess, mock reality sort of thing as the Guild, what advice can you offer me as far as like the basic start of it? Is it, or I mean, like with characters and premise, is that something that you feel should be very strongly developed near the beginning, or is it more or less shoot and kind of develop?
See how it develops.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's the more you prepare, the better off your product will be. That said, you have to be fluid enough that you can evolve. You know, so it's kind of a combination of the two. You should define strong characters if you're making a show like The Guild. I mean, I think that one of the great things about it is that you have 6 very distinct people, and so when you flesh out those characters and you put any 2 of them in a situation together, the script writes itself. You know, because they have such strong points of view, they have such strong dramatic needs, and they're all very differing. That you're going to get great drama, which will equal great comedy because you have such strong characters. That said, with Felicia, you know, she's asked this many times. You know, she didn't necessarily know that's where she was going to go with each of these characters, like where they ended up evolving. And I think that's because after you see it fleshed out with the actors, she was like, oh, okay, this is what Sandeep does well. This is what Jeff does well as Vork. You know, I can beef that up, beef a certain element up, depending on what she's seeing. So it's a constantly evolving process, but it does start at the foundation, with great characters.
And we definitely have fleshed out our characters as the actors that have inhabited those characters have fleshed them out over years.
I mean, just like we didn't know that Vince was going to be a good card, a dude who can do card sharks type stuff. So she's written that into the show in various places. Like I can do gymnastic-y things, and so that ended up in Date My Avatar. I did a backflip, and it's just things that sort of you use what everybody can. Amy's a killer dancer, and Jeff's just a beautiful bald man.
I never sure saw my character getting really angry and screaming, but that's what I do on stage, Jeff Lewis.
Right.
So I think that I started.
I think the first time
that.
you yelled Blades was just like an improv.
I don't think she imagined
so funny.
getting so angry, but he has those flashes, and I think that's my contribution to the character.
All right, before we take the next question, I just want to ask if anybody has an empty seat next to them, can you raise your hand? And everybody that's standing along the wall, you need to take a seat because it's against the fire code for you to be standing back there.
I guess we should go.
Yeah.
There's some seats here. Is that weird?
I should put out this fire.
Thank you, and we can go for the next question.
Okay. Yes.
Hello. I was just wondering, how have your lives changed since you joined the Guild?
And also, if you could tell me, if you could join any cast or just like guest star in any show that's going on right now, what would you pick?
Oh my God.
How's our, okay, first question, how our, yeah.
I'll say that for me, like, being in LA and going to auditions, and it's a lot of rejection, and it's really a challenge, it's hard, and it's nice once in a while when someone comes up and says, hey, I saw you in the Guild, I like your work. And that is hard to get, and it's really nice, it helps me get through the day sometimes. You can go to 3 or 4 auditions and at the end of the day, you'll get 1 phone call. And it's really hard, and once in a while you do, obviously, but it's really, for me, it's sort of been that nice shining light that's gotten me.
I mean, it's unbelievable that this room is jam-packed to me. It still blows my mind. We're a web show. You know,
that was one of the worst ever. I forgot an entire page. I missed an entire page and went to the next one, and I left feeling terrible. And I walked down the street, and the guy just stopped me and said, hey, you're Vork in the Guild. I said, yeah. He goes, you're a dick. Yeah, he just said, I like your work. So it was like, my head was so low until he said that. It made me feel a little bit better, and I didn't blow my brains out.
living on the edge.
I'll do it again.
Yeah, no, it's been, I think it's just absolutely, it confounds me that we're able to sort of support ourselves at all, you know, doing what we love. It's mind-boggling, but so awesome, you know. I mean, we're sitting there, you know, we got lines, you know, at various cons that are sometimes as long as the TV show guys, and it's cool, you know. I think that what Felicia did so well was create a show that was very true to her, and I think it touches people because she's, you know, it's authentic. Like that she's a gamer, and this is like a lot of her experiences, and I think people can kind of like, they can tell that it's real, and that all of us as a cast, there's a lot of love going on, in a sexual way.
Only a sexual way.
We've all been pregnant with each other today. No, but it's, you know, and I think that joy sort of like kind of comes through the screen and hopefully spills onto you guys. And blackout.
Lights going out.
What?
They'll going out and then they'll come back on.
Oh, okay.
I would love to be in.
What was the second part? What show?
What show?
Yeah, if you could guest star in any show.
I would love to be in Modern Family.
Modern Family, I would love to be in Community, and I was. That show is just like, I love that show. It's just doing some crazy, brave stuff. If you guys have seen like the D&D episode, I mean, if you haven't watched it, if you haven't gotten into it and you're a nerd, like it definitely services us. It's like they will just go to places that no network show will go. And so when I got asked to be on it, I was so psyched, obviously, to get a job, but also just I was such a fan, you know. So it was just like a dream come true a little bit to be already to be on that show. So yeah, but Modern Family would be good too.
Next question?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
I wanted to know what you run or ran in D&D.
Me?
Is what you played at. Either of you. I know that you said you played, and then he just...
I was never a dungeon master.
You just always what?
Playing.
I didn't play much D&D. Like I said, I was a Hero Quest guy, and I go to Temple a lot because I'm a brown skin. Which is what we did. And instead of course, doing any of the stuff that my parents wanted me to do, me and my friends would just go up to the this scary level of this church that like should have been condemned, and I'm sure, you know, could have killed us. And we just invent. We just create. You know, we'd pull from like. We'd have one of us would be a transformer, one of us would be an elf, and we just sort of invent stuff. So we kind of did our own live action D&D, but I never actually ran any campaigns. first one.
I don't know if I answered the question. It was only 30 years ago, but did I answer that right?
No. I don't know. I feel like you've been caught in a lie. That's what I feel like.
I lied about playing D&D. That's sort of the worst.
Is that a cool lie? Yeah. Next question. I still love you.
I was wondering, we see the gag reels on the DVDs and stuff, and it's really hilarious to watch. What's the most takes you've had to do or redo, and have you ever had to actually stop and continue another day because you just couldn't get it because you were either laughing too hard or just it wasn't working out?
There's no way we'd lose a day. Felicia would chop up them off.
It would literally explode.
Yeah, it would actually explode.
I'm trying to think what we couldn't.
I know what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Was I in it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Season 1. I think this is still. I mean, you could not. It was supposed to be. It was one of your big long monologues, and at some point you're like, it's something. We got to get to our 2 a.m. rate.
Oh yes.
And for the longest time, you just could not say 2 a.m. You kept saying 2 p.m.
No, but it was a 2 p.m. rate. I kept saying 2 a.m.
You effed it up big time. It was like 30 takes. And we were all cracking up, and you were so furious.
The director was a different director, and he was really mad at me.
He was really mad. That wasn't helping.
No, but I couldn't get to my head that I was used to playing WoW at 2 a.m., but never 2 p.m. I think I probably...
So you're just in your brain.
Yeah, I was like, now I understand it, but...
I think it was literally 20 takes.
And
I think it was you get through this huge monologue and you get to that last point.
But I was also putting forks and knives and spoons in my shirt. In my jacket, so I had to say it. Oh, I'm acting so hard. Horrible. Oh boy.
All right, next question.
Okay.
Hi. What film or TV show inspired you to start acting? Well, I really want to act. Any role specifically that you can think of that you're like, wow, I want to do that?
I grew up watching Saturday Night Live. I mean, all the way back to Chevy Chase and Bill Murray and those guys. I went Gilda Radner, and I used to watch Chevy Chase and just was in love with him. I mean, I just thought he was so bad. Yeah, literally. He just was his physical stuff, and he said insane stuff, and I was so young, but I just found it funny. So that was my I always wanted to do sketch stuff because of SNL.
Yeah, I never wanted to be an actor at all. I just never thought. I was raised the Indian kid who hard sciences. I loved physics and chemistry in high school, and thought that's what I was going to do. And ended up studying computer science. I mean, I watched SNL. I guess I was more of the Mike Myers, Dana Carvey generation. But I don't know. I mean, it just sort of. And then I just tried it. I went to Brown University, and that's just a place that is so awesome about being you can just take any class, pass, fail, and you can experiment. And so I just ended up taking creative writing courses, and then getting into a sketch troupe. And I don't know. I just kind of. That's why I caught the bug. I don't know if there was a specific show. I mean, I watched a shit ton of TV. I did, yeah. Sorry for that baby that just learned.
Gaga goo goo.
What was your baby's first words? Oh shit.
Hi, it's glad to finally get you guys. I missed you guys at the last 2 BlizzCons. Won't be going this year because of freezing ticket prices. So, but I want to ask you guys. I don't know if this has been asked because I got here 30 minutes late. But what do you guys see with the future of your careers as this show in comparison to where the MMORPG genre is going? I mean, eventually, all good things, it probably will die out. So do you imagine you guys will be doing this for a long time, or where do you see the future of your show going?
Wow.
You just told me there's an end to this. Why can't this not go on forever?
October. What a doomsayer. Are you that guy that predicted that May 21st the world would be over? Oh man, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I imagine around season 64 will probably come.
I can't see the screen.
Hopefully by then there won't even be screens. We'll be using the Hypercube space iPad 20,000.
We'll go back in time and do the season 20 years earlier. So
Yeah.
we'll see it.
That was a good one. You should have right there.
Thank you.
I think what's cool about our show is that it's, we're sort of in this new media world where there's no set distribution. Our episodes started out at 3 minutes a pop, and then now that we're doing 12-minute episodes, so there are no rules, like there is in television where it's 22 minutes and then there's 8 minutes of commercials, and or maybe now it's like 14 minutes of show and mostly commercials, but. So we're just evolving with the medium. I mean, we're talking a lot about maybe doing half hours, maybe doing like, longer form movie types. I mean, there's a million options for us, and as long as you guys keep being awesome and supporting us, I think that there's a lot of places that we can grow to. I mean, it's really off the backs of you guys that we're able to do any of this. I mean, the first season of the show was all out of Felicia and Kim's pocket, and I was donating cameras, and everybody was donating their time, and we're all, eating breadcrumbs. And then we had a PayPal button, and it wasn't, we wouldn't make episodes until that PayPal button was clicked enough, such that we had enough cash to shoot 3 or 4 episodes in a weekend. And so I think that's how it started, and because of that, Felicia owns the show, and she's able to maintain ownership, and no one can tell her what to do, and it's probably the core reason why you guys all still love the show is because of that. And so I think as long as it retains the independent spirit and that connection with you guys, we'll keep growing and keep going. I mean, that's what I want to do.
Good luck, you guys, and great work.
Thank you very much.
I just want to know, character-wise, what's your favorite moment that your character has had so far, and what would you love to see your character do in the future?
Man, I wish I could spoil season 5, because this season was so fun. It really was. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. It's this was probably the most fun I had shooting, so that's all in my head right now. I just want to, because I just had the most fun personally. My character goes through some crazy stuff. But I think, I don't know, a lot of stuff that you and I do together is always, for me, it's, I guess just because we're comfortable improvising with each other, but, get us in a room and take my shirt off and oil me up.
The least fun is when we're in front of the screen doing stuff.
Yeah.
I love being around people doing stuff.
I really love it when it's 2 people too. When it's 6 of us, I mean, it's always fun to have everybody, but it's always a challenge to get everybody's coverage, and it's hard to really be in the moment and improvise and kind of play off each other and feel that connection. But whenever it's 2 of us going back and forth, that's when I really get into character and end up having the most fun. And then, of course, like I said, just take my shirt off.
And even though it was freezing cold water, I did love being in the shower in a full suit.
That was hilarious. In slow motion.
Yes.
And then what would we like our characters to do?
Yeah.
What would we like our characters to do?
Well, obviously, make love to beautiful women. Besides that,
I love doing the stunt work. Some of the stunt work in season 2 with Fernie Chen, the stunt guy. And so more of that, man. It's just so fun to be physical. Excuse me. And birth. So I have a gymnastics background, so any chance I can, to flip around and do stuff, I want to do more. So hopefully, Sabu will become an acrobat.
funny you said work in an opium den. Probably couldn't afford it.
All right, next.
Thanks.
How intimidating was it for you, Sandy, to be dominated by Michelle Boyd?
She is an intimidating presence. I'm going to be perfectly honest. No, she's very tall. She's, I think, literally twice the size of me.
She's taller than you.
Yep, that's for sure.
Yeah,
we established that. Anyhow, I made out with her anyway. It was, that was hilarious. I mean, I just knew it was going to be fun comedy, so I don't think I was actually intimidated. Though when she was swinging that mouse at me, there were a couple of near misses that were, a little scary. But it was. I mean, Michelle is really fun. When we auditioned that role, I was actually in the room auditioning with each of the actresses because we knew, even though in season 2 is when she was introduced. She's a very small role in season 2 as the stunt guy's roommate. We knew that she was going to end up being my girlfriend in season 3, so Felicia had the foresight to bring me in for the audition so that I was like actually working with all the actors, seeing if there was actual chemistry there. So we did a lot of improv in the room, and Michelle just absolutely killed it. I mean, she did just the height difference ended up being in her just completely domineering me in the audition room and like yanking me around, and it was just so fun and funny. I knew it was going to be a blast.
And she plays well too.
She's a hardcore wow. Yeah.
And she's totally into bald guys.
So I ran into Sandeep in the elevator the other night, and all I could imagine to say was like, "Dude, you're awesome and funny." I just want to know, have you ever like met somebody that you watched on a movie or TV and just been completely lost for words?
Yeah. It happens at almost every single one of these conventions at least once. This time it was probably, I walked into an elevator, much like yourself, and there's Adam Baldwin. And I love me some Firefly, and that show needs to be resurrected. Super cool. I was like, oh hey, luckily his handler recognized me, and so it was like, oh Sandeep, he's a guest here too, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm my Sandeep, and you are. Such a nice. He like didn't assume like I would know him at all, and he's like Adam, and I'm like, okay, I gotta geek out for a moment. Yeah, I'm a big fan. But he was so nice about it, and we just ended up passionately making out.
It was much the same way Aura did.
I thought you were gonna keep that secret.
My question about a particular episode of the Guild in which the Guild had to fight Zabu's mom.
Two seasons of that, but yeah.
Well, my question is, was it easy getting through that? I mean, I personally find it to be one of the funniest episodes in the entire series, and I feel like there had to be some pretty interesting bloopers there. Also, is there a correlation between your relationship with your mother and anybody else? Like, does anybody else in the Guild actually have a relationship in real life that's similar to that inspired that?
The first part was. Is that what we were fighting here in the restaurant?
He said correlation. So I see we're talking about season 1, first of all, right? Season 1, where we're fighting my mom at the end of the season. That was Avinashi, who's played by VG Nathan. She's awesome, really sweet lady, super sweet lady. She was in Outsourced recently, and a bunch of other. She gets a lot of fun little appearances. Great actress. Nothing like my mother, my actual mother, her character. Shit, man, you asked so many questions. It was really fun. I mean, that whole.
You need to have a panel just for his question. I can't remember what happened that day. It was just fun.
It was like the first time all 6 of us were like, it was cool, because like all 6 of us were sort of beating the big boss, and we were all working together. And it was like I think the first time, because the first season we kind of all not hate each other, but we're all so nervous about meeting each other, except for Zabu, of course. But there's you're just not sure where the chemistry is gonna come together. And I remember shooting those episodes, being like, oh, I can see how this show is gonna work season after season, because these guys all work as a team. They all have varied viewpoints, but they'll work together and defeat you know, their individual bosses, and that was kind of like, oh yeah, that's when it occurred to me that this could run several seasons. I remember that.
I was just really nervous because, not nervous, but I just didn't know anybody that well at the time, and so I was just socially awkward because I wasn't comfortable yet with anybody in the cast, and I just remember we didn't talk as much as we do now.
Now we're all real pals.
We live together, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking. And is anybody, is anybody like that, the relationship-wise, with their mothers?
Like overbearing and it's crazy.
Felicia wrote it.
All right, we only have time for, 2 more questions.
What was the most awkward moment you had when you were recording?
You trailed off a little, but the most awkward moment when we were
filming?
Filming?
And then, do I like your pig?
To the second question, yes.
Yeah, I want it. Give it to me. Now what are you gonna do?
She's still standing there, not getting it to him.
Jimmy,
She's still not getting it. She's still not getting it to him. She's standing there, look at her. What was the most awkward moment of shooting? God, I'm trying to think.
Maybe that first time it was all 6 of us because of what you just said, like we didn't know how good Amy and Robin and Vince were gonna be.
Yeah, we were just sort of standing around in the line, and
like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Actually, I think you're funny.
I think you actually said that to me.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna be.
But I can't think of it.
God. Yeah. I don't want to answer it.
I'm gonna take a nap.
We have so much fun. There's not a ton.
It's never awkward.
It's usually just when Felicia is being a raving lunatic. No, I kid. But she does wear like 5 billion hats on the show, so she is like, you know, producing, writing, you know, half directing, and
doing other shows too.
And doing other shows. So you know, there's just there are times when she's you know, just trying to rule the world, and you're like, hey, we need to act together now. But no, she's such a giving actor. She's such a professional that it's never awkward. So I still didn't answer your question. I still want that pig.
First, as a fellow brown skin, it's good to see you doing what you're doing.
Hello.
For you, not you can be brown too if you want. I know you guys had an open casting call a couple of weeks ago. Do you guys do those often for your fans to sort of get involved with the show? And if so, do you know when your next one might be?
Probably next season.
Like maybe you need a cousin because I'm brown.
I think you may be too tall.
It's all good.
But yeah, the casting calls are great. I think because there's fans that would love to, you know, want to be part of the show, and I think it's a great opportunity.
It's really a win-win because, man, extras are expensive, and we just don't have that budget. So not only do we get to have the fans come visit the set, and I think that's a real thrill for them. It's also a thrill. It adds to the energy of the show. You know, it's like we're not just working with a bunch of folks who just don't want to be there, and it's just their job, and they're bored. You know, the people are just like excited. And, you know, after a long 12, 14-hour day of shooting, to see people just still jazzed, you know, it's like it's really cool. And it keeps their energy up.
And it makes for some interesting characters on the set.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Yeah, so it's always fun. I mean, that's again, I think the connection with the audience sort of, you know, it spills all over you.
It's great because it does feel like almost a commune kind of experience because people are coming who are fans. Or
People, the award winner for who came in or who flew in from the furthest place to be an extra on the guild was from the Philippines. That. I mean, it's unbelievable. Someone flew in from the Philippines.
All right, well, we're out of time, guys, but thank you so much for